How's it going, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome back to another post-commentary duel video. Today we've got Synchro Fusionist versus Draco-Pals. A lot of you guys love Synchro Fusionist, probably some of the more popular deck that's been on my channel recently. A lot of people really like seeing that deck, whether it be a deck profile or some footage replays and commentaries over it. And I myself really enjoy playing the deck, and I love getting the chance to watch the replays. And that's one thing that I always say is really good about recording matches, whether it be on DN or in real life, is that you can always get to go back and watch and review your plays, look at your misplays, look at the good plays that you made and remember them even better. And also be like, you can look back and see like, oh, well, here I could have done this. Or if I would have been playing X card, in Y situation, they would have had Z outcome, and, it would have been a lot more, it's a lot more beneficial to your play, and I really enjoy that, especially for Synchro Fusionist. So as you can see, we're already well into our first turn field here. We've already got a Seraphinite on board, of course, with our Librarian to the field as fast as we can get him. We got a Charge Warrior there as well, getting us some extra draws. You're gonna see the draws this game at least go to the roof. Like, I think I draw like at least 7 or 8 cards, but the funny thing is, like, I don't end up using half of them. Like, some of the cards are just sort of just sitting there in my hand, just clogging. I think I end up using 2 or 1 at least. And it barely gets me anywhere. But the draws are real, but the cards we do draw into are enough to get us that sweet hand loop in which we so desire. There's that really amazing formula and Charge Warrior play. You get the draw off Charge Warrior and Librarian, you get the draw off the formula and the Librarian, and then you synchro into the Omega, get another draw off Librarian. And then I've got the E-Telly out that recover to go into another formula. 2 level leaders in hand. I'm like, where is a discard outlet? Like, please give me a fucking Power Giant. Give me something. There's the Power Giant. Able to go into a Tatsunoko and grab ourselves that Synchro Fusionist to grab ourselves an Instant Fusion, which is going to help extend our plays even more. See, the thing with this deck, at least my play style, some people may play this differently, and I don't know that you can play it differently, but I like to burn through all my formulas and the Charge Warrior and just get draws going. Just fill my hand with resources, and if I'm not getting those resources I need, I need to just you gotta keep digging before you go hand loop. You don't want to just start your turn with, okay, here's Omega and Trish. Well, that's great, but then you've burned yourself with of your resources. You need to keep fueling the fire. Let that Librarian keeps your hand alive, keeps your plays alive, and pretty much the only reason the hand loop is possible. Like, I always joke to myself, I'm like, man, if Librarian was at 2 or it was at 3, if Charge Warrior was not once per turn, which I don't know why it's once per turn. No, I guess I kind of do know why it's once per turn, but please make it not once per turn. That would just make that card that much more nutty, and getting the draw power through the roof even more than it already is. So we're going to go Trish right there. I had to set up Yazi a little early because I needed to make a level 7 Synchro. I usually don't like to make Yazi until after Trish is made. And you can see we've already got 4 cards left in our extra deck, and we've got plenty of combo extenders in our hand. And what I mean by that, we've got the Hat Trigger, we've got Power Giant, which can pretty much give us access to get rid of anything in our hand that we want to put in the graveyard for later use. See, Baxi has already come out. Put the Trish back, no desynchro, so we've got to do it the old-fashioned way, put Trish right back in the extra deck by way of Baxia, and then we use Love Leader and recover to go into Trish once again. Now we got 2 cards left, so now we're kind of finishing up here. Basically, without this Power Giant, without this Power Giant, I would probably be screwed because I think I've used a decent amount of tuners, and that Plague Spreader really saved me. I was actually kind of worried at this point because I wasn't drawing into any spells, wasn't drawing into clutch E-Tellies. I think I still have one E-Telly in deck based on that graveyard scene we just saw there. I think I still have like one E-Telly left, and that Plague and Power Giant were really clutch, really saved me there. And glad that I was able to draw into those, because I think, yeah, at this point I've burned through pretty much all of my level 1 tuners. Really relying on Plague Spreader. Put Hat Trigger to the top of the deck, bring out Level Leader, down to an 8 on that Trish, going to another Tatsunoko. Able to get something out of my hand if I want to. Don't need to though, just need that odd number Synchro, being that level 3 Tatsunoko, to go into that last Omega and draw into Instant Fusion off that Librarian and finish off the play, leaving myself enough room to bring back all 3 Omegas just like that. Easier said than done. But yeah, and like I said earlier, this Synchro Fusionist has quickly become, surprisingly, like one of my favorite decks of all time. Like, I used to think, Mermail and Photon Galaxy and Infernoids, some of my favorite decks to play. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love those decks. I still really love Mermail. I'm still going to be playing Mermail. But I just really enjoy Synchro Fusionist, and it kind of brings me back to the time, like about maybe a couple months ago, when I really wanted to play Planet Quasar. And it was before Quasar got reprinted in the 5Ds collection. I was like, oh my god, this deck spits out Quasar, like first turn Quasar, double Quasar if you have Soul Charge, but like, and I never could get a hand on the deck. And that was one thing that really bugged me, because Quasar was still $50-60 before the reprint, so it kind of turned me away, like it would a lot of people, like buying really expensive cards. But I actually own Synchro Fusionist in real life, and I get to play that deck a lot, and on DN as well, which is just another bonus. And I just love the playstyle. It's a brilliant, elegant playstyle, punishes misplays, and forces you to look far in the future of what your plays are going to be. And I think that, in my opinion, is the better part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a deck that is not really so obvious of what you need to do. It's not like, okay, do this, do that, get to this point, and then I summon this guy, and I protect it, and I win. There's been several decks that have done that. There's been Clifford. I think Cosmo is kind of one of those decks. It's kind of turning away from that now, though. But there's been several decks, and there still will be more of those decks that's like, do step 1, 2, and 3, and you win, because you get X monster out, and your opponent can't do anything about it. But decks that really teach you and force you to go play by play and give you so many options, so many effects, so many different cards to choose from, like a huge archetype pool, like DDDs, a huge pool of cards you can have access to, that you're like, oh, this guy's really good, but this guy's also really good too. Should I make him first, or should I wait, or should I do this, or should I go into X card, go into this, And it just makes it a lot more fun, because it's not so predictable, and it kind of makes every game a new and interesting experience, having to play out of different hands. And yeah, and that's just a little off-topic rant of what's going on screen. Odd Eye's freaking Gravity Dragon. He's playing Odd Eye's Gravity Dragon, and that Swallow card there, which is a card I was looking at a while ago when Necroz had just got their first hit. I was like, I really want to play this card. You pendulum it, you get a Ritual Search, dude. I'm like, that's got Necroz written all over. But now I'm seeing this card used in plenty of pendulum decks, now that there's a solid pendulum archetype that can spit out level 4s. I was like, when this card, when I first saw it, I'm like, Cliff Ort's the only really viable pendulum deck at this moment. But now that, Pepe and Draco-Pals are an established thing, this card is going to be absolutely abused in the future. And I've already seen, I think Glasgow YGO had a video of this Necroz like Pepe version, and it was nuts. And they were playing that level 4 card that when it's pendulum summoned, you search a ritual spell or monster, I believe, one or the other. And I was like, wow, that's that card finally coming to use. Cause I was like, this card could be used in something, and now it's finally, it's getting its time to shine, if you will. But yeah, here we are in game 2. Game 1, I obviously get that hand loop off, so it's gonna be game over pretty fast. Game 2, Dweller, pretty much spelled disaster. I didn't even bother saying anything about that because you can clearly see what happened. Dweller being a very devastating hit. If you're playing against Synchro Fusionist and you can make a Dweller, make a Dweller. If you have Valor, don't max C, because you will get decked out. Trust me, it's happened. I have a video of it on my channel, me decking somebody out IRL, not on DN, because I know some people prefer to see that kind of stuff. IRL, I do too a little bit, but sometimes DN is just more convenient for putting out a lot of content for you guys. And here, I'm like, what the hell? I get a Yazi and I have to pass. I was like, I get to go first game 3. I'm gonna win this, because if I win game 1, I don't really care what happens game 2 if I get to go first game 3. And if I'm that competent, you know, it won't matter too much how, you know, like if I'm basically forcing myself to win, it basically won't matter if I'm that good, which I'm not, but I still have plenty of things to learn about this deck until it becomes like just something I can do in my sleep without even thinking about. The formula, grabbing me desynchro, and I just go into another formula because I have no options. I need draws. I draw an instant fusion. Norden's already in the grave, so that's pretty much game over. And I'm like, oh, I could just normal summon my Synchro Fusionist, but I already burned my normal summon that turn. I'm like, I could go into a Tatsunoko with that glow up bulb and get a search, go into Brilliant Fusion, do other plays, grab Refusion, revive that Norden, make more plays in there, but not going to happen if I wouldn't have burned that normal summon previously. There could have been a little something going on with that turn there, because he wasn't able to follow up with as much either. He did have Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon, which has a similar effect to Red Eyes Flare Metal Dragon, the rank 7 Xyz, which I believe burns 500 each time you activate an effect. So even if I was able to pull out of play there, pull it out of thin air with that Synchro Fusionist, get a search, I would have to make Trish immediately to get that thing off the field, or else, of course, you know, with all the effects that I'd be activating, and I would activate more than, obviously, I'd have to pay for it with the Odd Eyes Gravity Dragon on board. I would have been dead, so Trish would have been at my first play, and immediately at that point, I think going for a Trish would have caused me to run out of fuel. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate you guys so much for watching all these videos, really. We're almost at 1,800 subscribers as I'm recording this. Almost at 1,800 subs. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate it. I hope you guys are still enjoying the videos. As always, having fun making them, as always. And leave a like if you enjoyed. Be greatly appreciated. It helps me out a lot. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, Winterkill signing out. We'll see you in the next one.